Yes guys, and welcome back to the channel. Down at the plot after what should we say, a crazy busy day down at Chelsea. I mean, it were absolutely fantastic, and we found some absolute crazy ideas, you know, for the garden and a few for the plot, to be fair. But it's just nice to be back here in rural Derbyshire, back on the plot with a job list to do, longer than my bloody arm. But we're going to crack on, and we're going to get quite a bit done today. We've got the kids dropped off at school. We've probably got about 4 or 5 hours now where we can just smash out all them jobs that obviously have been putting off for quite a while. So we're planting fruit trees, we're sorting the greenhouses, we've got things to plant out, something for the squash to climb up, we've got the polytunnel to sort the tomatoes out, but in fact we've got the greenhouses to do that. We've got to tie all the tomatoes up so they can grow up them. Something for the cucumbers to climb up, sort out a few areas with weeds, weed the beds. I mean, come on. If we get all that done, I'll be super pleased. So yeah, let's get cracking, and I'll show you bits and bats as we go, and just how we do it after a crazy busy day at Chelsea. Let's go. Right, so first things first is we're going to be sorting out the strings for the tomatoes to grow up. Obviously we've only got 4 in this greenhouse. We've got some aubergines and we've got different various flowers. We've got, look at that cosmos that's just come out there. So before they get unmanageable, we're going to basically just tie some strings across the top and across the bottom, and then it gives us something to fix to. And then what we'll do is we'll just grow the tomato up, obviously pruning it as it goes up so it doesn't go wild. But like I say, we've only got 4 in here, so it's quite an easy job really. But it should only take about 5 minutes or so to do. It's just getting the strings across. I usually use wire, but I haven't got the right clips for this greenhouse, so I've got some shitty little plastic ones, which they're all right, but I think the metal ones are a lot better. They'll just hold more weight, but because there's only 4 plants in here, we should, in theory, be all right. So we'll see. We'll soon find out anyway. So yeah, we're literally running string across the top, string across the bottom, and it can grow up. String between the 2 strings, dead easy. Right, so while I'm doing this, I thought I'd just talk a bit about this greenhouse. So what I've done, I don't know if you can see from there, but I've put a layer of bricks around the outside. Now they're only placed on the ground, but we get plagued with rats here, especially in the winter, and they're quite bad. Like, they'll dig underneath and they'll just devastate whatever you've got, especially when it's frozen solid outside, and they're just getting at your winter crops just for the moisture, I think, on the in the leaves. So this year what I'm going to try and do is, last year I did grow cabbage and things outside and I netted it fine, but it just didn't work for me because I don't get down here enough. It's like the rats, mice, things like that, they just take a hold of things. They get inside and they just devastate the whole crop. I mean, I come down and there was nothing left of it. I wonder if I've got a video. I'll have to have a look for a video of that, but there was nothing left of it. They made a right mess. So I vowed never to grow winter veg again. Well, apart from the onions and garlic, obviously. But this year, because it's worked so well on the seedling greenhouse and nothing's got in all spring, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and grow some winter crops in here. So we'll try and get some purple sprouting broccoli, maybe a few cabbage, and we've already got the sprouts growing away nicely in pots. So what I'll do is I'll probably just keep repotting them until they're ready, probably the back end of the season, to go out in here. And yeah, hopefully it can be a productive winter greenhouse, in theory anyway. Right, while we're inside the bed, I'll just tell you what I'm doing here. So obviously I've tied the strings across the bottom and across the top, and then they're going obviously to grow up that string going up. So what I'm doing is I'm going to train the main stem around the I'm going to leave that sucker on there because it's full of tomatoes, but I'm going to train the main stem around like that. What I've done is I've been a bit brutal, it looks like. I've taken some of the lower leaves off, and some of them did have little flowers on. It looks brutal, but I want the plant to grow up and stop wasting its energy at the minute. I want it as high as tall as possible. So as you can see on this one here, it's quite bushy at the bottom. It's got suckers coming out because I've not even touched it. So we'll just chop all them off. I probably like to leave a good, once it's growing up, probably 8 to 10 inch really, without any leaves near the bottom, because obviously when it waters, I've got an irrigation system here that's going to spray. I'm going to have to pull them down. It's that bloody bright in here. Yeah, I don't want the bottom leaves susceptible to any mould. So yeah, cut off all the suckers, tidy the plant up, and then hopefully it'll reach for the sky, up this string. That wasn't meant to happen. And then yeah, we'll hopefully have a good yield of tomatoes in here. That's the plan anyway. Right guys, so we are back in the poly, and there's a bit of work to be done, so don't mind me with the old workout on. It's bloody hot and I forgot my cap, Anna. Bloody idiot. So yeah, we've got to do the same in here really. We need to see a lot of the strings have snapped, so we need to be tying them all up. We need to be cutting some of these plants, some of them back at the bottom. We've got some self-seeded tomatoes down here as well. Just tidy it up a bit, because one thing we don't want to do is get caught out and the tomatoes to do exactly what's happening here and flop over. So obviously they're susceptible to damage. So yeah, we're just in the nick of time, I think. Got quite a few flowers coming. And there's even, I've just noticed, a little strawberry on there. One thing I will say though is, I don't know if you can see from that angle, maybe if I can just flick you like that. Can you see that cabbage there that's sort of from last year? I think the rats got in and ate most of it. There must have been some root left. Look at it now. Come on. God, it's hot in here. I don't even know if I'm going to film this bit. 43 it's been up to. I've just opened the doors and we've gone back down to 30 odd. 30.6. So it's bloody warm. It still beats being on that subway, done it yesterday. So yeah, we're going to crack on and get this done. Probably about an hour's work, so let's go. Right. So we're on the last bloody one. And then that'll be 60 tomato plants all tied up and ready to rock and roll and do their thing. So I tell you what, I can't wait to get out of this frigging polytunnel. It's so warm. I think it's 32 degrees at the minute, but when I opened doors it were 40 odd. So yeah, it'll be lovely to get back outside where there's a bit of a breeze, even though I've opened both doors. So I'm just gonna now, I've tied the string so it's long enough. I'm just literally gonna chop off all the bottom foliage, because I know it looks brutal, but what I want is the energy to send the plant up right to the roof, and then hopefully get as many tomatoes as we can when it's up there. So these are easy, these ones, because I've already tied the wires on. So it's literally just a case of tying the string. Obviously, I have to do this every year because it degrades, this string. I should really use wire, I suppose, but hey ho. I do like string because it just rots down. And then obviously there's the odd sucker like that, so we just take that off. Make sure we've got one true stem going up, and then just literally wrap it around gently like that. I mean, that's fine there. And then obviously as it grows, I'll just wrap it round even further. And I've obviously taken off the bottom leaves, because I don't want, after all this frigging effort, any diseases to take hold. So yeah, that onto the bucket. I will show you actually, while I just come round this side. We've got a nice little pile of new potatoes that I had growing down here. Don't know if you can see them there. So they can go for dinner tomorrow. So yeah, all in all, it's been a productive few hours on the plot. I mean, who needs 60 tomato plants anyway? Jesus. Right, next job on the list let's get some squash planted. So we're going to be planting probably 3 or 4 along this side, probably 3 or 4 along this side, and hopefully we can have enough scrap wood around the plot to grow them over and look nice hanging down in between, wouldn't they? Let's go and see what we've got around the corner. Let's have a look down here. What we got stashed? It's just a dumping ground, but to be fair, it's tidier than normal. There's not much wood there. We've got a little bit up on top, and then the rest of it is like pallet wood. We have got a bit of 3x2 there, but it doesn't look like there's any more chucked in there. It's mainly pallets, so that'll be no good. And we've got, they're a bit big. Them big ones might do though, so let's get them down. Maybe if I de-nail them they'll work. Yeah, right, let's get them in place, screw them up and see if we can come up with some sort of like, all we need is like a goalpost frame, 2 of them. Oop, tripping over, nearly have a dog. All we need is a goalpost thing, and then I've got some netting. If we can just tie that round, maybe over the top bit, be fine, they'll just loop round. So yeah, let's get cracking with that. And that's it done. So it's not going to pass Chelsea inspection, but the timber were free. The chicken wire we already had, I think it was £1.50 a roll at the Palm World, I think. So it's taken 6 rolls to get over the top. Maybe need 1 more on the top. We've used the staples that we already had. So all in all, it's not a bad little effort. It's taken me about 40 minutes to do, 45 minutes to screw it up. Make sure it's all secure, because obviously the wind does get quite bad here. And all we need to do now is plant out them squash. We've got butternut squash, and I think we've got some baby brew maybe, something like that, but they're a little bit small. So I'm going to plant 3 butternut either side, and I might, if I can, just dot a little one in between and try and just grow that up. But yeah, it'll look good that. We're growing up, you can just tie them in, and then obviously as they get up here they'll grow through it, and then all being well, the squash will hang from the archway. So yeah, let's get them squash out. Yes guys, and that is it. We've blasted quite a lot of stuff. We've even managed to get in, as you can see over there, we've got an apple, and a pear in the middle. And what I'm going to do is I might even get another pear for there, and we'll put some wires across and chain them across the wires, so it'll block out next door as well. We've planted, I'll sling you around, we've got pumpkins in, we've put a load of flowers in, sunflowers, we've put cosmos, we've got butternut squash in, we've got courgettes in, we've made this little structure which will do for the squash to climb up. We've even had a good go, we've done all the tomatoes in there, we've planted out more flowers, we've mulched the tomatoes on that side because they haven't got irrigation system. And now, after all that time it's on, it's time to go home. Maybe you just feel a bit lightheaded and you need a drink. That's me. So I am signing off from a full day down here. Yeah, so if you've liked the video, if it's helped you out at all, give you that bit of inspiration, you know what to do. Drop us a like and subscribe, and let us know what you have been doing on the plot this last week, especially with no rain. So yeah, I'll check out and see you on the next video down at the plot. Cheers.